but let's go back to this question I asked you before. Answer this for me. So when we said he was blameless in his age, and I'm not sure you guys understood what that meant, so I'll kind of give you a hint. So what it meant is he was a good person compared to everybody else. Okay. So that doesn't mean he was the most fabulous person or perfect, right?
Like that he got that.
So
he created everybody and had intentions for everybody.
Right. So
like, that everybody would be good and worship him because he created all life on earth.
So it didn't turn out the way he thought it was going to turn out.
Yeah. So
right?
he's gonna destroy all evil on earth and hope the next time that everything would be good and stuff. Mm-hmm. And plus he said he was going to make a covenant and said that he wouldn't do it again.
Rainbows.
Right. So relative to all the other people, right, Noah was the one that got picked to make the ark, so he was
The best one.
he was the lesser of all the evils, huh?
He is the best one.
Yeah, so it didn't mean he was a bad person, it just meant he, of all the people that God had to choose from,
He was the one that was
He was the
most
best.
good.
yeah.
He was the best.
Yeah. So what do you think about what Noah did then, since he didn't warn all the other people? What do you think now?
He didn't have time.
Go ahead.
Well, I think that
It's okay, you'll remember. Go ahead.
Since he didn't say anything about the other people, he wouldn't bring it because, and plus he said about, like, that everything was evil on there.
Yeah. So what do you think about Noah now? Do you think that was the right thing for him to do or not?
Yes.
Yes.
yeah,
Do you think that was the right thing for him not to warn the other people?
Because they were all bad
they
people.
weren't nice.
They weren't worthy.
They weren't worthy.
But
He couldn't
How?
choose anyone in the entire world, but he chose Noah because he was the best
But
person.
if God wiped out the world, how are people still alive?
because
Because Noah was on the ark, right? So he didn't wipe out all the people.
And if you think about it, like logically, if you tried to
One at a
say,
time, guys.
if you tried to say,
One
if
at
you
a
tried to
time.
save one of these people, then it would
Sarah,
eventually,
one at a time.
if
Let-
you
let's
try to
talk.
save one person, it eventually lead to another person, and then
Leah.
you'd eventually have to save the entire world, and that would just kind of defeat the purpose of flooding the entire world for 40 days, 40 nights.
Okay. So there was somebody left. Go ahead.
No,
There's a loose nail. I'll take care of it. Just be careful. Don't lean back.
That's not a nail.
No, don't pull it out. Just leave it. Thank you. Okay. So let's look on the back page of what I gave you. So this is the same at the top of that page, the last page. At the top of this page is the same first couple lines we just read. This is the line of Noah. Noah was a righteous man. He was blameless in his age. Noah walked with God. And Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Japheth? Is that how you pronounce it? Japheth. Okay. So who wants to read for me this little paragraph here? This is everybody wants to read for me. Go ahead.
hey, I'm supposed to read this.
Huh?
She ended. I was supposed to read this.
Oh, I'll let you read next. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead. Just read that whole paragraph for us.
There are those of our scholars who interpret this verse as being in praise of Noah. He had lived in a righteous generation. How much more righteous would he have been? Others interpret this verse as condemning him. He was only righteous relative to his generation, but he had lived in the time of Abraham, and he would have not been considered anything special.
So what's that say? We were just talking about, right? He was the best of all the people that were there.
Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect, that's true. But if he had lived at a different time, maybe if he had lived when Abraham was alive, what do you think of Noah compared to Abraham?
Abraham would, he would have chose Abraham instead of Noah.
Because Abraham was...
Better.
More
better.
good than Noah.
Okay.
I think Abraham was more powerful than Noah.
Plus he did obey God before, so he would do anything he said before and earlier.
But what
Are you talking about Noah or Abraham?
Abraham.
But what if Abraham hadn't obeyed God?
If he hadn't, he probably would choose Noah instead of Abraham if he didn't obey God's commands.
Okay. So what do you think that God takes into account then when he decides if you're a righteous person? A couple of things, right? Because Abraham and Noah, that's two totally different situations, right? So what do you think God takes into account then when he decides if you're righteous? Go ahead.
He looks at anything you've done bad, and he looks at all things you've done good, and he looks at all the other history of your life.
History of your life. And what does it sound like he also looks at?
How you've been during
Appearance.
the year.
How about all the other people around you?
Appearance.
Or parents?
Appearance.
If
Oh,
every-
appearance.
If
Got it.
everybody knows you.
I told you, only
have
one
to
good
like
ear, you
ears.
have to speak up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If everybody knows you, like if you live in a little town and God says he wants to wipe out that whole town and everybody knows you and they know you're a good person, you would choose that person in their family.
Does everybody have to know you for you to be a good person?
Well, not everybody, but like you have to do nice stuff. You have
Yeah,
to
like say
appreciate people and
yeah,
honor
like
them to what they say.
someone needed to do their yard work, and somebody was like a senior citizen and they couldn't do it, and then Noah say did it for her. That would be a nice person.
Okay, so being helpful to your neighbors, go ahead.
I said appearance because you need to have the white beard.
Oh, you need the white beard for it to count.
She said it.
Well,
Santa Claus.
let me ask, hey Sarah, let me ask you this question. So,
Me.
yeah. So what about doing things for other people helps make you a righteous person, but what about with regard to your religion? What would make you a righteous person with regard to being Jewish?
You.
What do you think? Let her answer. Let her answer.
I don't know. You follow God's orders.
Okay. Go ahead.
Follow the 10 Commandments.
Yeah, follow the 10 Commandments. What else?
You go to services every night.
Go to services at the synagogue, yeah.
Yeah.
Do blessings
Okay.
and stuff. To bless the land. To bless the things God made for us.
So so in order for you to be seen as a righteous person, there's a bunch of different things you could do, right? There's spiritual things with regard to being Jewish that you guys could do. There's things about, you talked about helping other people and doing things for other people, right? And then there's also what? Go ahead. You're anxious.
You do a mitzvah.
Doing a mitzvah, right? So what does that mean, doing a mitzvah?
You do the project thing.
Oh, you're talking about a bat mitzvah project?
Yeah.
Tzedakah project?
That thing.
Yep.
But mitzvah, there are a bunch of different mitzvah. They're just
600
good
and
things.
something.
Yeah, there are a bunch of good things that you can do.
There's these, right?
And then there are
We talked about these.
600 more.
And there's 603 more.
Oh, I thought those weren't counted as the mitzvah. I
Those
thought,
are the 10 big ones.
Those
I
are,
know.
yeah.
And
I
there's
thought
a really
just-
funny
I
milk
thought
book
just
thing
alone
about
there were
that.
613 plus there was 623.
No, 613 total. 613 total. So God takes a couple different things into account, right? He takes how spiritual you are and how much you believe in Him and how good you are to other people. So maybe how you uphold Jewish values, right? Because part of Jewish values are things like being good to animals, right? You guys are all good to animals. You take care of animals. You either have some of your own or you
Yeah, I
treat them
have
nicely if they're not
cats.
yours. Okay,
Those
you
crystals so cute.
have 6 cats. And then God also takes into account,
6 cats.
it's a relative thing, right? God also takes into account what's going on all around you, just like He did with Noah. Go ahead.
But Noah didn't. You said that you have to believe in God, and in the video you showed us, Noah didn't.
Oh, he didn't know of God
Oh,
yet,
not
right?
yet.
Well, in the
He didn't really believe. He didn't want to believe that that was actually God.
Well, there's a difference between believing in God and believing that God is actually speaking to you right now, right?
Yeah.
Because you believe in God, right?
Yeah.
Okay.